Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about a legitimate way to boost your clout within your market and both generate and nurture more leads in the process. I want you to think about the top trade show or conference for your persona, not for your business, but for theirs. So if you're a business insurance broker, but you sell those policies to technology startups, then the conference we're interested in here is the one that the technology startups would attend. Let's call it Denver Startup Week. What if you owned that conference? How powerful would it be to have your name and your company's name next to every speaker, every stage, every room, and every entrance? What if you were the event MC and you got to throw in regular self-promotional messages throughout the conference? Now, why don't you start your own such conference? Not that I'd try to talk you out of doing so just because it might be challenging, although I would tell you to hold off on doing so until the end of this lesson. But for the sake of this analogy, let's list some of the main challenges with doing so. Throwing an event requires a lot of capital. Organizing a successful event at scale is incredibly complex. Getting attendees to your conference requires a comprehensive marketing program in and of itself. And getting top presenters to speak carries its own challenges. Now, what if you could create your own conference, get presentations and ideas from top experts in the world, reach only those people who might be great prospects for you, personally invite them all at virtually no cost to you, and then run the event 365 days per year for free? Welcome to TAP Groups. That's trust, authority, positioning. I'm part of a LinkedIn group called Digital Marketing. As you can see here, they've got about 1.2 million members. Notice that the group admins are listed here too on the right-hand side. And if you were to scroll through the group posts, you'd notice that those admins contribute a good chunk of the content. Now you might be thinking, yeah, it'd be cool if I had my own such group, but digital marketers are my persona and someone is clearly dominating that space already. So I've lost my first mover advantage. They own it. Well, let's take a look at another group I'm in called Digital Marketing, Social Media, Search, Mobile, and More. 500,000 members. Now, I'm not about to tell you to create a group and plan for 1.5 million members or 500,000 members or even 100,000 members. First, you don't need that many members for this strategy to work. We want this group to be comprised of your ideal customers, and I've yet to see a business that can effectively run this program on 100,000 leads. Second, having that many members would make it nearly impossible to keep your competitors out, which means you'd be spending your time managing a marketplace where your competitors have the ability to pitch your leads just as easily as you can. Clearly, that's not what we're going for. A few of the TAP groups we can leverage include LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, and Instagram and Twitter feeds. Essentially, anywhere we can collect a significant number of followers or members, and where we have the ability to control who can follow or participate in posting and messaging. So let's walk through the setup of one of these groups, keeping in mind that we'll be covering posting and engagement in a later lesson. The single biggest challenge here is coming up with an effective name. Remember, you absolutely do not want to base the group name on the services you provide, because your prospects are much less likely to find it compelling if you do that. If you provide business valuations to food service businesses in the Dallas area, don't name your group How to Sell Your Food Service Business, because you'll alienate those prospects who aren't actively considering or pursuing a merger or acquisition, and probably set off some of those IPAs or incoming pitch alarms in the process. Instead, consider a name like Texas Food Service CEO Forum, because it tells those CEOs that they'll be networking with their peers, which they will. To put it simply, don't make the name about your products, services, or value proposition at all. Make it about the peer group for your persona, because that's what will attract the most members. And once you do that, you'll be able to share occasional information on your offerings within the group. All right, let's walk through the process of setting up a LinkedIn TAP group. In LinkedIn, I'm going to click on Work and then Groups, and that's going to take us to the Groups page where we have a button that says Create a New Group. We click on that. You'll see that once again, we have the ability to populate a header photo as well as a profile photo. So we'll do both of those. We're going to enter the name of the group. We're going to put a brief, no more than 2,000 character description of the purpose of the group. And again, make sure you focus this on the persona, their challenges, their peers. We're going to enter group rules, and this is a great place. We usually put something in here about solicitation. Even though for the most part you're going to control who has access to this group, you never know when you might get a competitor in here or somebody who tries to poach your leads. So we usually just put something simple like be nice, group admins may remove any member who's abusive or rude, and so on. And then we also have a strict no soliciting policy for the group. This gives you the ability to remove any member who starts soliciting these leads. Now you might think, wait a minute, what about us? Aren't we going to solicit these people? But keep in mind, you're already generating relationships with these people before you're going to invite them to the group. So this is really a way for you to get around this particular rule because you've got a relationship going already. The last thing we want to specify is the privacy type. We can either do a standard group, which allows other members to invite new members, or an unlisted group, which means that this group will not appear in search results and only group admins can invite other members. As a general rule, we're going to want it unlisted because we don't want other members to be able to invite other members if those people might be competitors. Having it unlisted allows us to manually invite the people that we want to have in the group and not have to worry as much about having competitors become part of the group. You certainly don't need to limit yourself to one type of group if your persona is active on multiple platforms, but managing each one will increase your workload. So it's prudent to start with whichever platform has the most user density for your persona and then expand into other platforms as you have the time and justification. And you probably remember where you documented your persona's favorite social networks in your blueprint document. Your homework from this lesson is to come up with one or more potential names for your group and then post those in the group comments, along with a group description and a brief of your persona, so that you can get some critical feedback to steer you in the best direction. Once you finalize your group name and description, enter them into the Profiles tab of the blueprint and begin setting up your group on your first platform. Be sure to create your branding or imagery as well. Feel free to invite me and my team to help boost your initial membership size and get our final feedback on the group setup. I'll see you in the next lesson.